content, man.
How do you make content?
Perfect. So you took the words right out of my mouth. How do you make it a content?
How do you break into a gently used 2001 Honda Civic?
Honestly, you just have to open the door because it was unlocked.
Okay. And what about, how do you find a title in the gently used 2001 Honda Civic? How do you do that?
I will neither confirm or deny these things, but there was a nice looking hat in the back seat, and maybe or maybe not there was something under that hat.
Bro, this is all I want to say. The paint on Eddie's 2001 Honda Civic, better than the paint on Chris's 2005 Mazda. I was so tempted to take that title and take that Civic and then deal with the repercussions of it later. I bet you it would have saved Eddie money. I honestly bet it would. It would have been good. If I didn't.
I am not affiliated with anyone in this group. I don't know how I am here. Probably added by a third party.
How's your coin going? I mean, how's the coin going? What's
we don't talk about that here. I thought we were going to talk about making content really quick.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm making content. So.
This is actually pretty good content right here.
Yeah.
Just going off the rails. It seems ever since I talked to Troy, things have been going off the rails really quickly on this thing.
Count on Troy for that. I was actually just talking about the fact that Troy has the provenance of first anime project on Bitcoin. And I was talking with my boy DKB, who's from the Azuki community. And if you know Azuki, they care about anime. Ipso facto, meet Troy, Azuki. Troy's that OG anime guy on Bitcoin.
And he has 2 different projects on Bitcoin, so you just got some alpha leaked to you right there. But now let's bring it back to content, actually, because like you're really big into content, coaching people on how to make content. So what do you think makes good content? What advice would you give to aspiring content creators, since everybody wants to be a content creator now?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, talk about things people care about. Don't flex that you know all the new acronyms. Don't flex, like, don't make content like I can only imagine some lawyer trying to impress other lawyers would do, or some doctor trying to impress other doctors would do. Like, just be a human being who cares about real things in life and talk about those things, and you can become the bridge for the normies. Because when they hear us talk about optimism fork and
CK roll-up
in a native yield, the native yield. What the fuck is nobody cares about that shit except the guy who made money because he knows what a native yield is, and that's not 99.99999% of people.
So basically, it's like you got to simplify a way to like reach normies and like mass adoption is what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's like this. If you are only talking to 12 people out of 8 billion, then at best you're gonna get 12 views. But if you're talking about something like you're talking about my guy's Jordans right there. He's got some orange ass Jordans, right? You know how many people care about those? More people care about those shoes than care about Web3. Totally.
That is true.
Yeah, so it's just know your audience, serve them, talk about shit they care about. Don't just flex that you know the latest acronym, you know, some protocol, garage door number, E85792, and then how that makes you money and flex that you're so smart. Like, cool, you're smart, got it. No one cares.
Great. So basically, to sum it up, it's like you got to simplify or know your audience and like have a simplified message to actually reach like a mass audience.
Yeah, totally. And like honestly, at the end of the day, if you're specialized in one particular thing and people know you for that, that's the thing that I ask content creators all the time is like, what do you want to be known for? Like when people talk about you, what is automatically associated with you? Like what do they know you are so good at? If there's not an answer for that, work on that. Be known for something. Have some value that people are like, I love that this person always talks about this or talks about that, or like, I gained this because I watched their content. Or even if it's just laughter, like maybe you're just super funny, right? If that's what you bring to them, then like good, you've given them something. So if it's about you, very hard to win. If it's about them, you can really pay attention to like what feels best to talk to people, to educate them on, to entertain them on, to whatever, and they'll let you know. Because if they don't like it, you're gonna get no views. It's gonna be crickets. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's some fucking alpha right there, man. Flyride, bro, love it, dude.
My man.
You just heard alpha straight from Flyride. Check out Flyride. Where can we find you on Twitter? It's at Flyride, right?
At Flyride. FLYRYDE. I'm gonna go get another beer, and it matches my fit. It's gonna be good.
That's the alpha, yo. Thanks, bro. Let's go this way, Mike, and see who else we got over here. You know what? Before we go to somewhere else, let's go to one of our sponsors. Excuse me, guys, going right past you. I'd love to give a special thanks to Forgotten Runes Wizard Cult. Thank you so much for sponsoring IRL Alpha in the show. If you don't know, Forgotten Runes Wizard Cult, OG Ethereum project.
Forgotten Runes. This is a very good project. We like this project.
Why do you like this project so much? And you have no bias whatsoever, correct?
I have no bias. I'm a founder, one of the founders, but I have no bias. It's nostalgic. It is beautiful. They're wizards.
But you also have the community write its own lore.
I do. We have something called the Book of Lore, which is like an on-chain tomb. So when you own one of these characters or any of our characters, you can go verify that in the book. It flips to that page for your wizard on one side, and you can write a story. You can put art, and then you connect it on-chain to your character, and then that character then takes that story on if you end up selling it. And there's like over 4,500 original stories in the book, which is pretty cool. So if you like storytelling, you like Forgotten Runes. All right, I'm going to the bathroom.
Hold on, let me get back. What was the inspiration to create a community-driven lore for the project?
Well, I'm actually the third partner. So my two partners, Dota and Elf, created and minted the wizards, and then I came in the day of the mint. I've known Elf for 10, 15 years, and I think really the idea, and it's evolved a bit, but I think the idea here is like, you know, in a world where a lot of the activity around these digital collectibles, assets, NFTs, they're really like financially sort of weighted, and that's fine. I think that's super important in the space, and we need people buying and selling in volume. But I think like for us, we felt that if we found people who really wanted to create an emotional connection with their character, you know, something that goes beyond just a PFP, but something that like you feel. And this is a theme that you see with a lot of other projects. You know, my penguin is me.
Yeah.
I am my penguin is me. I think for us, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, if you find people who are really into what you're into and all the expectations are aligned, then I think you have a really long path of like success in front of you, because the community is actually right there along, and there's no weird speculation. And so you just find the people that you want, and then you're good to go.
That's right. You get like some experience coming from the storytelling world, right?
Yeah.
Like traditional writing in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You guys also working with a writer of John Wick for the animation series that's coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we got my buddy Derek Kolstad. coolest part is this idea of like, you know, the wizards that show up in the comic books. Not only do some of their stories impact, so the book of lore I was telling you about, the writer and artist pull from the book of lore and they bake it into the stories. And so the stories and the characters that end up in the final published book get residual, like they sign license agreements with us, and they can get residual checks based off of that. So this idea of like, you know, sharing an IP, I think is really important. It's, you know, the old world where I used to write films and TV, you know, it's like a one-way road from like, you know, a fan and then the studio or IP owners extracting the value. So it's pretty cool to be able to share in that with the community. And I think if you share, then you can sort of build it up even faster. And so that's what we're doing. We're like speed running the next fantasy franchise. So.
Dude, I love that. Bear Snake, man. It's been an absolute pleasure, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Oh, and we got a couple of video games coming out too. We'll talk about that.
Yo, check out Forgotten Runes. Comic books, animation, fully functioning video games. Thank you, Forgotten Runes. Bear Snake, absolute legend in the space. Let's see who else will go. Dude, I gotta say hi to these guys.
Hey, Michael.
How you doing, dear spaceman?
Hi, Hyperspace doing great. Unless the rain in LA. How you doing, Lars?
I'm good, man. Anything that you're currently working on? Like, you got some amazing photography in this space.
Getting ready for NFT NYC. So gonna plan all the tickets. Worked on the PR form to do some communication and bringing the website out ready for that time. So yeah, I'm excited. And NFT LA as well is close to the end of the month, so it's gonna be interesting there as well. Yes.
So a lot of things planned, man. So do you have like any exhibits planned for like NFT NYC or?
So I wanted to do it. I think it's a little bit too short time to do it, but I think I'll do one in Los Angeles very soon to invite everyone from the community. That's gonna be fun. Exciting years, especially with the bull markets.
Yeah.
With all those meme coin and NFTs, and we're so excited. I think the smile came back on people's face.
The vibes are definitely up, man. Hyperspace, where can we find more of you?
To find me, go on Twitter at Hyperspace, is YPER, and then space SPACE. And you can go on Instagram and find more, or just go on Twitter and click the link tree, and then you can go into the virtual gallery on Spatial, and you can really see all the collection. The one called Love, Light, and Colors. That is, I create universe with water, painting, light, and I use a pump to make the water travel. And I take the picture from the top. So I create really universe that are I create them organically, and then I take a picture digitally. So I don't use AI, I don't use Photoshop, I really create, and I let the universe decide what the art should be.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the interesting part of it, like, I let the universe decide it. I'm just a medium for him to express himself, sorry.
I love that. That's some serious alpha there, man. Just channel it straight from the universe and let it come out in the art.
Yeah, no, it's a fun process. Took some time, because I've been doing photography for 17 years. I've been doing a lot of fashion, worked for the studio. And I found that I felt empty for so long because everything I create is for clients and it's not me. It looks always like other people's work. And when I started macro photography, I started discovering a brand new world. And then I was, what can I do to inspire people to dream again? Because of, we living a strange time on the planet, with a lot of other stuff, like with war and economic things. So I say, what can we do positive? And I think that people have to dream more and more and more. And so creating those universe allow to do that. And if it brings them a smile, some happiness, then I've succeeded. And that's what it's meant for. Whatever you feel, And go and check Wiperspace on Twitter, and go in the virtual gallery. It's really fun. I think there's about 20 pieces onto the wall, so yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Dude, Wiperspace, man, amazing, bro.
Thank you so much for doing something new, man.
Oh, dude, anytime, man.
Yeah.
Well, like, let's go this way. See who else we're gonna go in. Check out Wiperspace, man. Amazing human being, great artist, great individual. Let's go this way. Let me tap in with this ordinal. May I, sir? What would you like to do? Let's go to the light a little. Troy just loves the spotlight. Here with Azza, legendary sat hunter. So Azza, can you describe a little bit what sat hunting is, and how would someone get into hunting rare sats?
Sat hunting is like going to the bank and taking out, say, $10,000 and looking through for rare coins, like an old silver dollar. And then essentially doing that back and forth. They're looking through different bits of Bitcoin, for old Bitcoin, in the same way you look through money or coins for rare coins, 1912 penny or whatever a rare coin might be.
How did you get into sat hunting in the beginning? Did you see like a value in finding rare sats before like the market kind of saw that?
I saw them like on Magic Eden, and I just kind of liked like the pizza palindrome. So palindrome, so the number reads the same forwards and backwards, and it's also been in the pizza transaction. And for some reason that just like caught my attention, and then I started minting bitmaps onto rare sats, and then selling them for above the floor of bitmaps because they were on rare sats, and that's kind of what got me into it. Like it's a slow progression from there.
All right. Like, what excites you about the ordinal space? What actually got you into ordinals in the first place?
I mean, in the very first place, it was like the second BRC, meme. Minted some of that in February and then forgot about it. And then my mate was like, hey man, you should check that meme stuff. And it was like $120 a token or something. And so from there I just started looking into ordinals, and I think it was just something about like the community and everything being new. And things being on-chain and not having to deal with like smart contracts and IPFS and just all this stuff which didn't seem...
like decentralized in any way.
Exactly, yeah. It didn't seem to match the ethos of crypto. And Bitcoin had the potential to solve a lot of those problems, but it needed a lot of building to get there. So it was kind of just by accident that someone said, hey, check this BRC stuff out, and then I forgot about it for a month and came back and was like, wow, okay, something's going on here.
Here, let me look into this chain now. Like, what upcoming projects excite you? Like, you got like some bitmaps. You were telling me about node monkeys way before they hit close to a Bitcoin floor. So what excites you coming out on Ordinal?
Still excited about bitmaps. I just bought some more bitmaps actually on the dip. The ones is going to be pretty cool. And then I've actually got a project I'm helping a friend of mine who's a tattoo artist and a graffiti artist get. Well, it's inscribed, but I'm just helping him, do all the digital side of things. He's very not the most technical person, I guess, is how you put it. So that's like a big focus at the moment. There's so many mints and stuff coming up. It's hard to keep up really, but obviously there's OMB coming. Everyone's excited about that. Ink. There's heaps of shit to be excited about.
As bro, where can we find more of you?
You can find me on Twitter at ADZA_SATS.
For sure, bro. Awesome, bro. Good tapping in, man. Catch you later, bro. Thank you, bro. Oh, look. Right on time. Hello. I don't know if I want to put her in front of the green screen with the orange. You want to come this way?
Why? Like
Okay, let's do it.
here?
I don't know.
I
We'll
kind
see.
of like that.
Let's
I'm a
see.
ghost. I don't know what's going on. I'm here.
How was Denver?
It was amazing. We're about to go talk about it on stage, though. So
But not yet. You got to give them a little teaser first.
I mean, all the teasers are on the internet, if they made it on the internet.
Nice to see you, man.
Nope.
What happens in Denver stays in Denver.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding.
Now, what are you excited about being built on Ordinals? What did you
vibe.
see at Ord
The
Denver?
vibe. DeFi. We'll talk about it there.
Thank you, Jen.
I only have so much of a voice because I did not sleep for 3 days. So we are very, very...
Got to save it for the panel.
Yeah.
See you on the panel,
I
Jen.
need some tea. Damn, there's a lot of people here.
We do have a crowd. Adult arts, everybody.
I need this back after. If I have more, I'll get you the right size. But I brought it because it's just technical, you know? Yeah.
It was okay. Do you want to be on real quick? For sure. Gianna. Gianna, do you want to be on the screen? Sorry to interrupt.
Give me just a second. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh. Can I get to you in 1980? What's up, man? Here with 1980, man. 1980. How you doing, man? Dude,
What up?
you don't know, man. 1980 is responsible for this amazing art up on the wall right there.
Thank you, friend.
Dude, can you tell us about your process? And you also have done digital too, so you've been in the space quite a while. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. What do you want to know? What you want to know about one of these, or
Yeah, let's go with
what do we got?
the main piece right here. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's interesting. This one is a combination of. I'm gonna see right here. A combination of code and Blender. Yeah, I think what makes this one interesting is the plexiglass, natural light, right? For myself, like I'm known kind of as a light-ish artist, utilizes light to make things glow. And I think that's what's interesting about the plexiglass here is like the piece glows. There is no actual LEDs or anything associated with this one. It glows because of the natural light as a layer over, the more detailed artwork. Yeah, and in true fashion, just with anything I do, I try and push an innovative idea as much as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, what attracted you to blockchain and putting your art on chain in the first place? Since you said you do like to mess the technical.
Yeah, I love that question. I was lucky enough, at the time in 2017 to be doing some, I think like any artist, right? Like we have to find work on the side. Me, for example, I did some design work, and a company needed my help on designing a dApp for the blockchain. And I was like, what the fuck's the blockchain? So I had an opportunity to learn about Ethereum, Bitcoin, and help build a dApp for the supply chain. And that really, at that time is when CryptoKitties came out. And I was fascinated with it. I was like, whoa, you can fucking mint these CryptoKitties.
And breed them and have these
and you can breed them. I was like, this shit's tight. And that was my introduction. And I started actually dabbling and doing some art at that time. And I've always been a digital artist. I do my stuff on the street with We Paste posters, always digital art. And when I learned that I could actually make something that I owned and I could pass it to you and you owned and it's on chain, I was like, shit is fucking stamped for me. There's the value here. And ever since, I've loved it. My latest collection that I have ready to mint, but gas has been a bitch, is called Radiation. That's a pure on-chain. There is no hosting. It's all pure code injected directly to Ethereum. Now, what I think a lot of people don't realize with that collection right now is it goes back to my roots, which is light-based artwork. I'm using glitch art, and it flashes based on the device that you have. So what you look at it on your device and you see that glitch is going to be different than the glitch on my side because your device is different than my device. So people don't know that really yet about that collection. And I wanted to take on-chain art, utilize like a device's abilities, And the way I kind of figured it out was maybe if I create themes, like palettes of theme colors, and I make them glitch fast, that can be the artwork. And so that's my latest one, Radiation, that I'm working on, which is a pure on-chain, pure fucking Ethereum project. And I'm only releasing 8 of those. As soon as gas drops for me, 7 of them are getting minted, and that'll be that little collection. The back of it, what people also don't know is I built a whole like asset library that I want to give to artists for free to be able to utilize pieces of it. So kind of like I mint 8 that people can own, and the rest of them are free for artists to build upon. So yeah, that's just some of the craziness I'm working on.
Yeah, where did you get inspired for these ideas? Like, what brought about, like, because that's fairly different to where the piece of art will look different and glitch differently on an individual's device.
Yeah, I don't, I'm a very creative person. I don't like to call myself an experimental artist, but like I'm always experimenting with stuff. Like I'm always like, what can I do that's different? How can I use the technology? How do I merge art with tech? And in every piece that I do, from this one right here on the wall to that on-chain piece, I have to push on those boundaries. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And with everything, I think a lot of people don't like my work because I don't put out large quantities, and a lot of times I don't tell enough story, which I appreciate you being here and allowing me to tell this story.
It's a very intricate story, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get better at the things I'm not good at along the way,
Love the art, man. Love like putting it on chain, individuality. Man, where can we find more of you if like people want to like tap into this?
Yeah, I mean, I love, obviously I love Twitter, like most of the blockchain space. Love to connect with new people. 1980K is how you find me, and I'm so much respect to IRL and you for always supporting me.
Oh, bro, 1980, man. Fucking always a pleasure, bro.
Yeah,
Yo, check out 1980, absolute legend in this space.
Thank you so much.
Yo, thank you, man. And with that, man, that is all the time we have for the IRL Alpha pre-show. Stay tuned for the IRL Alpha main show coming to you live from Venice, California. Keep the vibes going. We're going to tap into our main panel. We're going to catch up on all things going on in this space. Vibes up. We're going to catch up on Ethember. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, chat, for watching. Until next time, it's been Low Swayze. Peace out.
It'll be in my DMs right there. I'll get Rosamond to pull it up. What's happening?
Got this for you.
You know what? You know why I'm not wearing my hoodie? I wore it yesterday, and I walked around in the Venice rain.
Wear the fur.
It's too hot, man.
I know.
I'm a sweaty boy.
Sweaty boy.
So here's what's happening. David Choi says, I will be personally injecting $1.3 million, and MetaStreet will be providing a $700K blur loan into Pudgy Penguins over the next 2 hours. $2.2 million should be enough to stop the depth spiral for the birds. What is going on? Like, what is going on? We're bailing out Pudgy Penguins? MetaStreet is?
The first bailout?
We finally have bailouts?
Fine.
This is a sick meta, okay?
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
the Moonbirds bailout?
We need another Bitcoin.
They got it. They got it.
We need another Bitcoin to answer this bailout.
Yeah, that's yours. That's
In
yours.
Web3.
That's yours. We're almost there. Ready upstairs, Jerry?
I'm so proud.
Very cool, Kanye.
This is the first time we've ever been this is early.
We're on time. We're on time. What time is it?
On time.
We're
is
start
early.
exactly at 7. Watch
On
this,
time is
everyone.
early.
Look at
I
that.
said I'm not coming unless we start on time.
Is that really? I'm looking at Jen's phone. I'm waiting until it says 7 here, okay? Thank you, everyone. We've never
Whenever
started on.
we-
No, we've started on time once
Never.
before.
We're early.
Once.
We've started once. It was cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
It was a
Now
great
everyone's
day.
like-
Once, one time.
One time,
Had to
one
wait
time.
long.
Welcome to IRL Alpha. My name is Begamot, and I'm your host. We're going to talk about all things NFT, Web3, ordinals, and some other stuff I learned about in ETH Denver this weekend. We just have a couple requests. If you have a take to share with us, you just can't shill your own bag. You can't tell us your life story. You can't, I don't know, like talk about something that is boring. That's the key. You get a short amount of time. You talk for more than 5 seconds and it gets boring, tricks into play, something like that. It means wrap it up. You keep going, we start booing, he starts playing sounds like that. Boom, exactly. Okay, great. So how it works here is we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff about what is happening in the week. However, if you didn't realize, last week with ETH/ORD Denver, every single person here on stage actually went to that event. So we're going to share some of our experiences there, and we'll argue about what we think the future is going to happen. Is it L2s? Is it ordinals? Is ETH coming back? Is it BRC20? Is that a programmable? I don't know. Okay? If you have any of your own takes here, just raise your hand. If you're in the front, we got a microphone for you. If you're in the back, either get up and walk to that microphone right there or type it in the chat. You can go to X, IRL_alpha. You can go to YouTube, IRL_alpha. Both of those appear in the chats right there. You know, I see a chat. What's up, Van Gogh? How are you? Okay. Let's just get right into it, because this week is actually a little bit nice and easy, because I have literally some of my absolute favorite people. If you didn't know, the real reason why Bear Snake is on the panel is because he bribed me. He took me to Casa Bonita. I don't know if you know what that means. There's a 3-month waiting list. People are outside literally going, how are you getting in? How is this work? How did you come here? Inside, there's cliff divers, there's mariachi bands, there's a puppet show, there's video games.
Diving into water?
Yeah,
diving into the
Off
water
of a
the whole
waterfall?
time, doing flips inside. It's the wackiest place in the entire world. He got me in there. I said, you're on the panel. That's how it goes. It's a simple bribe. He also happens to have a very cool project that are actually one of the OGs in ETH, and then ended up being one of the OGs in Ordinals, Forgotten Rune Wizard Cult, who have a game, already one game, already another game, and this time we have some updates coming soon we're going to be able to play. What's going on, Bear Snake?
Yeah, so Forgotten Runes, if you don't know, we've been here since we're coming on 3 years in June.
That's OG.
And 3 years is OG now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're a fantasy project. Really, you know, we're making a TV show with a writer from Derek Kolstad, an animated series. We have a comic book. There's some up over there. There's a whole 10 series that's globally published. We have a couple video games. One, since we've been building for 2 years, it's going to be coming out in the next couple of months, or at least some builds. And yeah, so we're busy at work and stoked to be here. Proud to call you guys my friends. Denver was the fucking shit.
Yeah, 100%. We'll definitely share some more stories and talk about all the things. Because you're involved in every single subset of this culture here. So it's crazy. When you go to Denver, he's invited to Cabal dinners that I'm not invited to. So we're going to hopefully get that leaked from there today.
You have to be a certain age.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just really old.
Next, if you guys didn't know, right? So ETH Denver's been going on for a long time to bring all the ETH builders together. This is one of the first years where ordinals have really popped off. The person who actually figured out, hey, let's just take over ETH Denver and turn it into ORD Denver, which then was pretty much what everyone's like. It was more Bitcoin ordinals than Ethereum. It was literally just Jen. I'm not even joking. It's Jen and then Mike, aka Overlord. They put it all together. They coordinated everything. They ran around like crazy. I know Jen didn't sleep for many, many days in a row. And the result was, honestly, for me personally, my estimate was to Bear Snake 5 friends that are going to be my friends for life. That's pretty good, not including Jen, right? I got to talk to some of the smartest people in the entire space, like mind-blowing devs about interesting stuff. There was also a rave there, so I actually got to have some fun after all the work was done. One of the best events I've ever been at. I think everyone's saying the same thing. Jen did all of it, so what's going on, Jen?
Oh my God, I'm happy we survived, and honestly, you guys, especially you, Rosenbaum, Big God, as a chief, like the IRL people.
I was there.
That literally, yeah, but you didn't carry any boxes. Anyway, the IRL people.
Troy was making trades the whole time.
That literally, you know what? You didn't send them to me and Mike either. Like other people did that, right? But no, I don't care.
You thanked me in a tweet.
Okay,
and
hold
then-
on. Let me just be nice about everyone, and then we can bring Troy into the conversation.
It's fine. I'm dead.
But you guys literally became family, and I think like not that you already weren't, but so far, and yeah, I feel like a month ago. I mean, I literally paid for this house on January 22nd. So like. One, no one in ETH knows how, no one in crypto knows how to plan anything. Like, ETH Denver is the longest standing conference. No one's ever done anything there. But yeah, it was like less than a month of lead time, and I started talking about it. Everyone's like, "ORD Denver? Why would you do that?" And it just started growing and growing, and I'm just happy people had fun. I think like my pitch deck was literally like, I'm gonna make a hub. It's gonna be the Ordinals HQ where people can create, meet each other, get involved in Ordinals, learn what's up, chill, hang, vibe, rave. And that's exactly what we did. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people had positive experiences, and that's all you can ask for.
100%. We're going to, yeah. Give Jen a round of applause. Seriously. If you weren't there, it was just crazy. Me as a nerd, I'm not joking. I got to talk about keyboards in the programming language Rust and obscure music with so many different people, which I'm just like, I know I'm around my people. It's like, what keyboard are you using? Like, obviously it's Will Split and these keys. And I'm like, yes, let's go. So
the owner of the house was like a little bit worried when I was like, hey, late night hacker hours, right? And he's like, okay, so what are we hacking? Is the FBI going to show up?
That's what you call that?
And I'm like, no, it's Bitcoin nodes. And then he's like, do 100 people need to mine Bitcoin? I don't know if I have enough power. I'm like, first of all, bringing in generators. Second, no. Then he was like, you know, like people, they host weddings. He's like, people get really rowdy. Like people are going to get sick if you have like open bar for this long. The first 3 people that walked into the house sat down and played the grand piano. And I was like, this is the type of crowd we have. Like, and he was like, these people are so nice. Now I want to know about Bitcoin. So we did our job.
we got him. Beautiful. Yep. Okay, so since I don't want it to be all so Bitcoin heavy, one of my favorite people, you may know him. He's here very, very often. One of the chillest guys in the entire space. And actually has a podcast, but it's mostly Ethereum based, I got to say, truthfully. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to call you out, right? It's kind of a testnet podcast is an interesting strategy. But he went to ETH Denver and actually participated in some more ETH stuff and is always really tapped in. Colin, a.k.a. Brightfield, what's going on?
Yeah, you know what? I have to second what Jen was saying though. I went to the Ordinal House and had a great time there. Brought a few people that were just getting into it, and they had their minds blown. So it was awesome. I just want to say thanks to Jen for being so welcoming for that and organizing that. But yeah, you know, it was interesting. I hung out with a lot of Solana devs actually. So there was a lot of, you know, I was at ETH Denver and I did more Solana and Ordinal things than ETH things.
That's so crazy. It's like every person who's going there, it's like, ETH Denver, dude, I really love the Bitcoin event. It's like, dude, I really like the Solana event. It's like, okay, ETH, we're down bad. Okay, it's okay.
I'm not gonna lie though, ETH Denver is one of my favorite conferences. And like last year I went for like all of Build Week, right? Like people are still there skiing in Breckenridge. It's like a whole month. And I do feel like ETH Denver brings in a lot of people that don't go to the NFT specific events, right? It's really builder heavy, and I felt like that was really beneficial for me as a non-dev last year. And yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get to go at all. So I do want to give ETH Denver that.
100%. The fact that they collected builders there for so long definitely impacted, like, you know, what came there. Speaking of a builder, actually, Troy on the panel, I saw him running around the entire weekend. I think he like traded more this weekend than I've traded my entire life, just running around the house. And I think he met more people than anyone. Yeah, he was not giving me any of it. He was just like, he would run to his computer and then run back. What's going on, Troy? What are you working on?
You know, yeah, right when I got there, I just was doing something and I wanted to trade and buy some stuff. But yeah, you just have to ask me. You just have to ask me. That's all you have to do. Yeah, dude, you know, what is it that I don't do besides be quiet about it? You know, I'm in deep in Ordinals since the beginning. I own a sub 8K. It's the first anime collection on Ordinals. We have a wonderful team. We just don't rush to the market. We just build every day. We talk every day. And I'm doing some other things in the art world as well. I got some art projects, and I'm working with a lot of artists that I'm slowly just getting to know as people as they understand Ordinals and are bullish on being onboarded and continuing to work and inscribe there, and knowing that I'm telling them, look, you want to keep doing it here. Enjoy the experience. And don't just do a one and done, kind of thing is the kind of thing. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff over here.
And ordinance.
Yeah, I said that already.
Oh, okay.
My name is Troy.
There's more. Beautiful. Okay. We'll get more. All right. So before we dive into what happened this weekend, I mean, we have breaking news in the timeline. We got to just talk. What are the current events? And these are super important current events. Binance noticed a big problem in the scene. They said, "Wow, there's not enough women here." And what's the problem? How can we get more women? It's so simple. It's simply a perfume. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. That's the wrong tweet. That's the wrong tweet. Okay, that's actually in support of it here. But okay, somewhere I have. If you want to search if you search Binance fragrance, here it is. Got it. Boom.
I responded to that. I think that's the most engagement. I'm like, the women in crypto smell fine. Teach the men how to shower.
Yeah, Binance deodorant. So I mean, a lot of people
fair.
They got mad about. Made people mad. I guess because it was kind of like tone deaf. It's a weird thing. I don't know any woman who's just like cryptocurrency. It's complicated, but. Is there a fragrance I like? And so some people said it was engagement farming. I don't know.
Did you smell it?
I actually thought they got hacked.
I
thought they got hacked. Like, I literally thought this was like Coinbase, maybe SBF from jail. Like, I literally thought that this was a joke. Like, I thought they got hacked. There's no way they spent money and made this. But I guess they did.
It's on point because when I told people I was at Eat Denver, people were saying, imagine the smell.
I'm not going to lie. I thought about getting a deodorant sponsor.
In all honesty, I don't think those of us running the ORD house took a shower for 3 days straight. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's just to be fair.
Yeah.
We could have used some Binance fragrance at that time.
But no,
I did take one shower.
But I will say it's like, well, I don't know. If I'm looking for investors, pheromones are a big part of it. Okay, if you want to be part of my project, I don't want
I'm
you
just going
smelling.
to say the amount of people that got laid at my party.
What? What is
I'm
this?
just saying.
Troy didn't get laid, obviously. That's the quickest way. What?
Nerds are coming up in this
If you
world.
want to
Sorry,
know about
Troy.
attracting girls, Binance, hit
No.
me up.
When you get to a certain age, those feelings don't happen anymore.
Nerd clout goes
That
far
is
in Ornals.
not actually true. The demographic that is the most active is old people. Look it up.
Okay, you just called them old people. Okay. Okay.
No, but you have fragrance alpha. By the way, speaking of Binance, you do.
Oh, I'm a crazy fragrance. But it's funny. They were
This
like,
is the most
they were like, we're going to attract women with fragrance, and I'm like, oh, I'm a fragrance
as
nerd.
in,
It's
big
only
as
attracting
in.
me.
No, you have the Beacon has this alpha he told me about, like he can remember smells from fragrances over the year and cataloged in his mind.
Check it. I'll give you some alpha.
fucking
I'm an
do.
insane person. Here's what I do.
Yeah.
I buy fragrance samples in bulk. You go to Lucky Scent. You buy samples of each one. Whenever you have some special event, a wedding, a vacation, you pick out a brand new one. You only use that one on the vacation. After you're done, you put it in the archive. You label it. I want to go to my friend's wedding or go to my trip to Spain. I pull out one of the samples. I smell it and I go, oh my God, do you remember? I literally will do this on the phone talking to someone who was there, and they will go, how the fuck did you remember that? I'm like, dude, I'm over here taking this drug that captures memories. And it's not that you spend $100, you can do this for life. I've been doing it for
It's
a long time.
incredible.
It's an insane person move. But yeah, try it out. Okay. Lucky Scent, sponsor me. Like, I'm literally, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next very, very important topic here. Actually, it is kind of breaking news. It actually is important. And I got some Art Blocks MFers in the front crowd. Art Blocks just put out a statement. If you guys don't know, I mean, Art Blocks, they're like one of the most important, serious institutions inside of our space. We are legit these days because autoglyphs are going for $14 million, right? So they said, hey, check it out, guys. New chapter. We're actually putting kind of the pause on any more new releases right now. Going forward, we're only going to do curated releases, much less small collections of them. And we're now, with the acquisition of Sansa, going to make the tool so anyone can mint. So instead of having multiple collections where there's like different tiers of are you curated, are you playground, now there's one big old tier that it's like the dream to get on, and anyone else, go to Sansa, mint it yourself, we'll give you that technology. So it's really the end of an era. It also means that any person who wants to get one of those lower Art Box collections, they can't anymore. I don't know if it'll limit opportunities, but also it's focusing for them. There's going to be less drops. There's going to be drops not for a while. So if you got a squiggle out there, you got some Art Blocks, maybe your price is going to go up. So yeah, pretty major news. We got some people I got to hear. Obviously Rosenbaum. What's up?
At the end of the day, I think this is a really great move. Being up in the Art Blocks Discord all the
He
time.
works for Art Blocks also.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's wild. I mean, how every one of us have opinions about the projects that we hold, and that's fair, I think. But it's wild how many people have their opinions on what Art Blocks should do, and it's been a constant nagging and threat and crying and uproar over the last 3 years of what should be done. And there's no real consensus, but I think overall, before this came out, I would say one of the major things that got people disgruntled was the fact that they released too many curated collections without highly refining them, and then they kind of start bagging on the curation board. And then when you have what started out as the Art Blocks factory, now it was Presents. That's right, baby. Basically, what happened was.
Don't say too much.
No, this is my own personal opinion. It does not reflect on Art Blocks itself at all.
Thank you.
Because
We need that disclaimer right now.
Yeah, let's make that disclaimer because I'm reading this live, about 10 minutes before the show. So this is my own personal opinion, but from my reading of the channel over the last 3 years, I will say this is what the people wanted. They want to have a slower drop cadence. They want to put a higher focus on curated. So this accomplishes that. And if we remember about a month ago, they bought Sansa, which is a generative art secondary marketplace. It's an OpenSea basically that's a little more fine-tuned to navigate and purchase generative art versus just your random PFP and every other thing out there. So with them taking that over, it has the tooling available in conjunction with Art Blocks, behind the scenes infrastructure, the engine product to allow artists to put out works at a faster pace that's not directly attached to Art Blocks, so it's not watering down the Art Blocks brand. And it's also stopping the gating from people that, I'm not going to read that yet, stopping the gating from the presents because, a lot of people, they get thousands of submissions, like literally, you guys, thousands of submissions, and people always go, how come you're not releasing my work yet? How come you're not giving me an answer? Well, the fact of the matter is, there's 1,000 projects to go through. So this, I think, is going to open up the opportunity for people to release their works that wouldn't have qualified for curated, but they still get that quasi Art Blocks branding. They still get it in front of the Art Blocks collector, and it allows them to kind of move up through the ranks of the generative art world. So I think it's a good choice.
So the problem is you legally have to say that, right? But no, the problem with that though is you're removing like the minor leagues almost, right? If you don't have factory where Art Blocks is like, you're not ready for curated, but here's a little one. If you put it into the big pool of Sansa, it's the same as Prohibition right now. How many people are going through all the Prohibition releases and saying, ooh, I think I found a really good one and elevating it to the next level? You don't make it out there without some level of curation.
Great point. But Art Blocks, they are the engine, quote unquote engine, and that's their back-end business that they license the technology to, I can't even count, maybe eventually help me here, over 50 different platforms use the Art Blocks engine, where you can release generative art and get promotion and marketing through that individual platform if you're good enough, right? But if you're not good enough, Art Blocks ain't gonna promote you, Prohibition ain't gonna promote you, none of the 50 other engine partners are gonna promote you, so who cares? Do it like FX Hash did and put your work out there. Let the people choose who's good, let the people determine what's quality, and let yourself grow organically, because the fact of the matter is, with ChatGPT these days, anybody could be a generative artist these days, right? So let's go ahead and put that, to the test and let people create art and let the people say what good art is.
How do you move up the funnel though? Like, how do you? Okay, so you make something and it's dope. Like, is it supposed to be natural? Like hive mind, the community just sort of gravitates towards certain projects.
Well, you know how the community is. We all say, well, that's the best art, and we're all refined collectors, and then it goes up in price.
Yeah. So you tell us, what did the Cabal say about this?
You were at that dinner.
Oh.
So
I got the kids meal.
I was sitting with my friend from Philly.
Yeah, I was talking to him too.
Up until today, or all the way through Art Blocks, existence, curated has the only like official Art Blocks stamp of approval of this is artwork that we're backing, that we're behind, that we chose to release this artist of. So the Presents and the Factory and all these other kind of Art Blocks branded releases have always been kind of first come, first serve. Once your code's good enough, you can release. There's been no qualifying on that. Curated's been the only qualifier to release work. So now they're putting a finer focus on that to kind of elevate that curation.
In all seriousness, though, I do think it's a good thing, right? When I came into NFTs and Web3 and crypto, right, it was like this freedom and like separation from a platform, and then platforms dictated everything because there was not this democratization of tools. And I think that like it's better when stuff gets organically, into the community and artists start connecting with collectors versus this, I don't know, like this is what Art Blocks curated picked today, so it's definitely gonna fly, or like this is on super rare. I feel like that behavior was kind of the antithesis of why a lot of us were here, and of course, people are lazy and they just want to make money and whatever it is. But there's so many quality people and quality artists. So I think it's a really good thing.
I agree with Jen in that it simplifies the process too, because if people are new, they don't understand the difference between Art Blocks Playground or Factory or Presents and Art Blocks Curated. They just want to know, like, okay, I'm into generative art, I want to get something. And so now it simplifies the process, I think, in time as we're getting new entrants into the bull market. And then it does give more opportunity for newer artists to get involved without having exactly to have any kind of gatekeeping.
Do you have any thoughts, venturing? Just I have to get every employee because
Yes.
we can catch him. Because truthfully, I sent all these videos to Snowfro, and I say, look what he's saying about you.
Yes, I was hanging out with Snowfro in Paris.
Yes, oh god, damn.
Anyway, I agree a lot with what's been said so far. I mean, I think with anything, I mean, really the main concern, like Rosenbaum has said, is just really centers around the curated choices that they've been making recently over the past couple of months. And I mean, I think just with everything that's going on, to be able to take a step back and to focus more into like actually choosing those curated pieces is going to be really important for them. I mean, I think no matter what, there's been instances where projects have not crossed through and been chosen by the curation board that have, kind of risen above and, they command a premium. And then, of course, at the same time, there's been curated releases that didn't really vibe with the community as a whole, I would say. But, overall, I think this is a good move because they'll be able to focus even more on, that important piece of selecting the right projects.
Well, all we know is that every single curated release is going to be more of a gas war now and more intense at least. And maybe it's an easier, safer play. To
Welcome to the bull run, baby.
Yeah, and it's interesting you bring that up because that's problem number 2 that hopefully, the team should be getting together and trying to solve. But, besides the stuff that they brought up today, I mean, a lot of community members have brought up issues with the way that the Dutch auctions work and how that a lot of times pushes people out. And I know Art Blocks has always been about trying to be more inclusive and get more people to collect that artwork. So it'll be interesting to see, what the team comes up with around that. I mean, there's been talks about the way 6529 has done their allow list for the meme cards and that sort of thing. And I mean, there's a lot of different mechanics that could be chosen. So we'll see what happens.
Gas is a future, not a bug.
Yeah, sometimes, for art. Okay, well, so we're going to see if you have some art blocks, maybe your bag's going to go up. There's no curated for a while. There's nothing really to do. I can collect some old things. When the new ones pop up, we'll see how hungry you are to buy some new ones. I bet you if they give it a big break, the first one that comes back is going to be a banger. So we'll see what it is. Okay, so let's go on the exact opposite. Because before we talk like or Denver, eat Denver stuff, we got to talk about some degenerate things. Because you know what, I'm pretty pissed off. I got a lot of friends who were DMing me saying, "Well, what was your wormhole? What was your portal claim? Oh my God!" So we are in airdrop season, and it's happening like over and over again, week over week. And people are making money, right? If you had a Mad Lad, it's like $35K is what you got per Mad Lad.
If you missed, unless you missed it.
Unless you missed it here, right? Wormhole, some people were actually pretty pissed about it because they said, "Hey, I had a DGOD or I was interacting with
Mad
chain.
Lads, and
I
they
didn't get
missed
it."
the window to they were there to do it and they missed it.
Yeah, so there's this crazy thing happening now, right? So every time I'm using anything on chain, we're talking about first of all, what am I farming, right? If I'm doing anything, I'm going, "Hey everyone, where are we farming now? Okay, cool. If I'm gonna move money, I'm gonna buy something." It's like you have to be thinking that way because people are making stupid amounts of money from this, and I'm like, when is it going to end? And then every week my friends are like, "You didn't get this one? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't get this one? Oh, I'm sorry." So it's getting nuts. I don't know when it's going to end. Like, I don't know.
I also feel like all these airdrops try and be so transparent, but like even the Optimism one, I had 3 wallets that qualified on their shit, did not qualify. This is, I don't like this trend.
Well, I'm saying it's confusing. The Optimism one, I had a friend say, "Dude, you got Optimism." I went, "What?" And I opened it, I was like, "Oh my God, that's great." And like, it was free random money. I don't remember using Optimism. I don't even remember doing it.
It was if you had like people spend over an ETH on gas fee. There were like multiple qualifiers. Yeah.
If you donated to Gitcoin, you got some Optimism.
Right, which I've done 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Does anyone run transparency reports on these? Or I mean, they don't have to, so they're not going to do it.
So there are but there's no official audit, but there's definitely like conversations and then like improvement board. Like Optimism has a lot of discourse, but not to distract.
Well, it's like right now, we've seen this before. Like, obviously blur farming got pretty crazy and pretty intense, and people were doing crazy strategies, and certain collections were more important because they didn't have royalties on them to farm, and it got wild. People made some pretty okay money from blur, and then the next ones kept getting worse and worse and worse until eventually no one cares anymore. But like, I don't know, if we are going to be in a bull run for a long time, it feels like this has to be what you're doing. I got to be like, okay, who's new? Who are the new wallets? Who are the new? Who's the new exchanges? Oh, okay, I'm farming there, and like,
it's important to set if you're going to do this in farming on like any chain, just about is to like have 30 or 40 wallets and split up. If you're going to have a lot of assets,
how many wallets you got, Troy?
On which chain?
30 or 40, or more. What chain? Actually,
what chain? What wallet?
He's a Sybil resistance extraordinaire.
Well, it's not important, but the thing is that if you're gonna like say degen into, even if it's just like that mint was not, it didn't turn out well. I got 1,000 of those. Like take 100 of those and put them into 100 different wallets and just leave it there and don't even, because farming for airdrops is always going to be a thing until it's not going to be a thing. Personally, I think just like Casey says that Bitcoin and runes and BRCs are going to fucking end all crypto besides Bitcoin. And
runes are going to end all crypto. That's what you think.
No,
okay.
he jokes about that, yeah. But yeah, I think that's your best bet if you're going to be a farming for airdrops kind of person and stuff like that.
But also there is a thing where like there has to be a certain number, like amount of volume, right? And yes. Sometimes there's multipliers, so you can do your best. Ultimately, like, yeah, I don't know. Either spend a lot of time in it or just live your life and hope that your activity is enough to qualify.
Well, no, I would say that. Well, that's the problem. It's like right now, there's VC money will come in, and oftentimes we'll say, okay, great, we need to get people onto the platform. How to get people onto the platform? You incentivize an airdrop. Look at all our DAUs. I can make more DAUs if I say use our platform. What happens? The VCs who are then raising more money say, we took money at this valuation. Look at all the people that now are using it. Now we're this valuation. Right? And guess what? That is work. They can get more money from it. So it's like as long as there's VC money, it can keep like looping in this way until all the VCs get burned or no platforms actually come out of it. Right? The question is, are any of these platforms going to be used long term? So like we have one here, right? Dota. Like Dota 2 is with Portal. That is crazy.
You want to hear a spicy meme?
Let's hear it.
Valve doesn't have cryptocurrency games. Cryptocurrency games are banned on Valve.
Yeah, Valve has been publicly against crypto, Web3. So they came out with a tease before this one, and they were using Dota 2 characters, and it was like, all right, well, that's pretty risky to like put Valve-owned characters in that trailer, and then this came out, and this is if anyone knows about this game, and Began. This is
I play it for I've never played it, but some of my friends, this is all they play all day,
it's
and they
really
say,
hard.
you got to get into it, man. I play it every day for 12 hours a day, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
And so what were we talking about earlier?
Exactly why.
Yeah,
not playing it.
But the idea of like if there was any company, you were saying this earlier, Began, if there was any company that was going to move into the space and like understand how community works and how do you support indie devs, it's definitely Valve. I mean, they invented the model, right? And so I think if this is like the first step towards that company being okay and playing nice with blockchain-based games, that's like out of this world.
But it's like exactly. It's like so Portal had a bunch of different people like farming their airdrop, and it was controversial because they had people doing social media posts to make them more popular. This got a bunch of people saying, "Oh my God, what will this coin possibly do?" They dropped the coin. Dota Valve was like, "Whoa, people are really seeming to respond to this. Let's incorporate it in the game." It worked. They tricked everyone. They got people. It's working, right? If all of a sudden people in Dota 2 for this tournament make a bunch of Portal and they sell that Portal for money, they might like Portal in the future. So it's like, I don't know, this airdrop thing, I think if it's a bull, it's going to keep going, right? And I'm trying to tell myself to not be stupid and use the same MetaMask wallet I've been using, which will never get an airdrop. Going in OpenSea and buying NFTs, they will never drop us anything, okay? You need to get my loyalty from now on.
I've heard that OpenSea activity will qualify for Magic Eden.
Oh, there you go. I like
they're
that.
gonna buy
a vampire attack.
And guess what?
That
Guess
would
what?
be smart.
I've heard that too, but guess what? Magic Eden better say it. If you use Magic Eden, double it, okay? Double
Well,
it.
yeah. And honestly, I have to have a word with them because I was going to set up.
You should call them.
Which
Get them on the phone.
Which chain of Magic Eden?
No, because I was going to set up their wallet. And so you go, like now that it's out of the beta, right? Like normal people can set it up. So I was going to make a tutorial and you go, you set it up you do a password and then it's like, do you want to claim your collectible? And if you hit yes, it's like you need Solana. You can either add a credit card or like do another address. That is so big, and that is the UI before like properly doing your seed phrase. That made me mad. And I'm like, I know you're trying to give us free money with this wallet, but this is not responsible.
I do like a wallet that says, before your seed phrase, give us your credit card info.
Yeah,
yeah.
How much free money are we actually getting?
Exactly,
if that's the play, that's.
They're going to
that's
say
all
you get a
I'm saying.
multiplier if you put your credit card info before your
Yeah.
seed phrase. You're like, okay, I'm doing the multiplier. Okay. So we'll see. This stuff is still happening. I don't even know what the next airdrop is. I'm using so many random things. I just go to my DGen chats every time I go, I need to trade some money from this to that. What are you guys farming this day? And it's always, there's a new one. I'm like, whatever it is, just make sure you're using DGen wallets and not signing up to a wallet that has a bunch of, puppets or something like that. So
there are a couple of people that farm for people.
Oh, for sure.
Which is, if you don't have time and you're into that, they
How
do
many
it
are you
above
paying
board.
right now, Troy?
I
Just tell
don't.
us.
I just
tell us.
Let me get a number.
I don't. I just hear things.
You just hear things. Just people.
But I'm telling. They're out
It's
there.
farmers for farmers.
What cut are they taking?
Yeah. What's the cut?
I think
10,
it's pretty good for the
15,
work.
I will give someone literally like 80%
Dude,
to
they're-
farm.
oh
my
Like, I just want a little bit.
Someone
Okay,
please take her up on that.
Just don't, if you don't miss any, right? What's the hit
There's
rate?
a couple of friends of mine that literally just farm all day. They don't care about like other things, and
Yeah,
it's
those
like
are the richest
It's like a
friends you
sad
have.
hunter. They just want to do that thing, and they do that well, And some people, that they just want to. They love farming. They just love doing that. To me,
Some
I
people
just
are
like,
born to farm.
I'd rather build stuff, and 100x on myself and the people that I'm working with,
So
kind of
you
thing.
told
That's
us
me.
to ask you for the alpha. We're asking who are your friends.
I won't say it now, but they're sometimes.
Will you tell us after the show? Can you put me in
Are
touch?
the
Okay, that's why you
friends
come
in the
live.
room? Are the friends in the room with us right now?
They're not here right now.
Put me in touch.
They're busy farming.
Okay,
They can't come to IRL.
Thank you for the ordinals today.
Well, so that that is something to look at. It's a tough time right now because remember in earlier bull markets there was less stuff going on, right? I remember watching the drop of the day every day. We all got together, we watched the drop, we were in the Discord. It was a great time. The whole space was there. Now there's it's like the drop of the day. The Solana drop, the Say drop, the
It's
ETH drop,
so
the
much.
Yeah, you can't
And
keep up with all of them.
Don't
Too
even
much,
get
too
started
much.
on what's like pumping on meme coins because that's a whole different
Oh,
conversation.
they're
like,
yeah.
You have to have a team for each section, each niche of crypto.
Do you guys, Joe Bowden?
Of course.
Okay, I saw
Odin.
that call and I was like, I don't even know what my Phantom Wallet password is. I got my shit together and I 2x'd on Hillary Clinton and the ticker was clit and like that was all I needed. Thank you for my 0.2 soul.
I'm down bad on my RFK.
Hey, that's a decent amount of money now. That's more than a
Frank,
million.
Frank put out a great tweet last night. I think it was last night. I was going to bed, and it was about you're conditioned to get these. Most of us, or half of us, get these farmed airdrops or whatever like that, or a farmed or a token airdrop, and then you go, "Thanks for the free money," and in that thank you, it's like you're telling the company that did that for you. Like fuck you, we're just gonna dump it, which is going to like be a hole in the ship for long term for any of these kind of drops or most of them to have legs for the future.
I actually
kind of thing.
I saw that tweet and I thought it was a good one, but at the same time,
Go
if
ahead.
you are a company, right, like incentivize people to hold. What are you doing that is value? Because otherwise,
Very good.
yes, it is free money that one you also have to pay taxes on, so you're gonna have to sell some off in the beginning.
Yeah.
But two, like it kind of goes both ways. Like if you are doing a token just to get hype, because there's definitely people that do that, and I mean,
like 99% of people.
right.
Well, like right now, so you see, like Pac-Man and Blast, that's exactly what they're doing. They're saying if you take your money out in 14 days, you lose your points, you don't get your multiplier, all this stuff. They're saying you have to keep stuff inside. So some people are exploring these mechanisms and giving bonuses and multipliers, and we'll keep
And
seeing
then
that.
I sold most of my ApeCoin at 27. But
What?
Like,
Only you.
but I do think that like they did incentivize, right? The staking. People did really well with that. And I was like, do I feel like buying it back? I don't know. I'm not good at math. I forget about things a lot. But I do think like when there's actual uses for these tokens.
Yeah. I do have to say with Ape. With ApeCoin, because that company has become a conglomerate, especially with the latest acquisition. It's just so spread out, and to me, I always thought like, hey, just keep your Mickey Mouse in the front rather than like Pudgy does. And now you don't really like apes aren't really a thing. It's more like of a company that owns a bunch of things. So I don't even know. Even the Ape DAO doesn't even know what to do, and they turn down a lot of great projects that I've seen come through, and we don't even know what they want. But I'd say the best meme coin in the whole.
He's about to
Here
show.
it
Here he
is, here
comes.
it
Here he
is.
comes.
Let's go.
Here's the ticker.
That's
Two,
no,
one.
like one of the best meme coins besides like. There's a bunch out there that does well and that keeps you holding.
Oh, come on!
I'm telling you right
What's
now.
the ticker?
It's actually called Meme Coin by Meme Land. I'm telling you.
Oh, there we go.
Like it's It's actually not boring. It pays my rent and then some every month. It just
because he shills like this. Okay, good
no,
job.
it does. No, I'm just saying like
it's the most passive aggressive shill I've ever heard.
The way they dropped it, they dropped 16%. That's it, and it's all locked in, and they trickle it out, and it just ends up in your wallet, and you just can go buy little tiny Lambos that you can just fit 1 foot in.
Yeah, but Memeland is
Every
like
month.
directly attached to the,
It is.
like, the project.
It's a
Like-
focused
Wait,
project.
yeah,
Is what my point is. It's not as focused as the apes are in their
Well,
ecosystems.
Yeah, but a lot of NFT projects, a lot of projects on and respectfully ordinals will go to 99% of them will fail, just like most coins, right?
For
Most
sure.
of them are just trying to get like a ton of money and bounce. So it really is ultimately, are they actually going to learn and produce something for the holders? If not, people
they
are going
want
to
to?
dump.
Do they want to?
So
do they want to be around in a year?
And
They don't.
hold on.
Yeah,
I do
most
want to have a
don't.
counterpoint to that, is that ordinals are inscribed on sats. Sats will never be completely valueless, so they might not go to zero.
It's always a hundredth of a
Yeah.
trillion, a hundredth of a millionth of a
If
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is $1 zillion because inflation is so high that like it is $1 zillion. Look, I don't fucking know. I'm not good at math, but I also think that a lot of the teams that deliver the most utility, like people don't actually like utility. They just like selling the news.
As someone who has a
All you can
project
do
that
is
just
never
builds
deliver.
and ships,
Stop.
I can
I will fight for Meme Land here in a
Just
second, only because of the Ponzi. Listen,
No, Trey, you're allowed to if you do one thing. What's the bag? Give us the rundown quickly.
What's the top five? Top five.
What's the bag?
Yeah, what's your bag?
What's my bag?
Yeah, what's your bag
Any
in
bag.
Meme Land? You're allowed to tell us. You're
If
allowed to
there were
share.
a
You just have
bag.
to say, I own this many. Like when Rosenbaum says like Fidenza's the greatest art ever, he has to say
I own
one Fidenza.
I own 5 captains and 16 potatoes.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ!
No wonder. Oh my God.
What are you mad at me
Baller.
for? I
I'm
told
so happy.
everybody
I'm so
in
happy.
here since 2 years ago to
Facts.
buy
I'm
fucking
bringing
potatoes.
everyone
He did.
And nobody listens
Yeah, he
to
did.
one of the most loving
Guys,
people
apes are the best
in
project.
fucking
I only have
ecosystem.
10 apes and 20 mutants. Other side's the best game. I only have 20 other sides.
I have nothing, which is why I throw parties.
Okay. We don't know what's going to happen next. These coins, I think we're going to keep seeing it. The bull keeps happening right now. I think it's going to keep going. We're going to keep seeing the various airdrops and meme stuff happen.
Over. With the State of the Union.
It's over? You think the bull's over?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's over.
No. We hit.
It's bleeding.
The bull's bleeding.
Transcended crypto Twitter.
Okay, so maybe let's go. When I was leaving Denver, actually, we got footage of it. I think me and Rosenbaum going to the airport after ORD Denver, very, very tired. We filmed Bitcoin hitting all-time high, watching it go, and it was a real nice thing. Really nice.
It was tickling us for a minute,
It
right?
was torture.
Oh man,
People
were like sweating.
I watched it for so many hours, and Rosenbaum's like, I'm going to sleep. And I'm like, this is great. Look at me. I'm having so much fun. And he's like, this is so unfun, dude. You fucking weirdo. But with that, like, I'm not saying it's because of ORD Denver, right? I'm saying it might have a reason for it, okay? But we did go there and hear about a bunch of different new stuff. I mean, maybe people are wearing a lot more orange these days. I'm seeing it on the streets. No, but
This
going there.
This is a rental.
Going there, we
Yeah,
did
so's
hear.
mine.
Like the
Jen's like,
narrative.
here, take this. I need it back.
I
That's my
have
son's.
to get them. I have to get them to people. I'm gonna get more.
Okay, if you
No,
want
you're
to talk
the
to Jen.
best.
Okay,
No,
so
you're
here's
the
the thing. Going to ORD Denver, I just knew I'm going to go meet some crazy people. I hear some narratives. There's ordinals, whatever, Bitcoin's back, etc. However, going there, talking to a lot of nerds, deep in depth, definitely a bunch of different things came up. I was not on, like by the second day, I was like, oh my God, people will not stop goddamn talking about programmable BRC20s and BRC20s being back and all these things. And it was like, oh, I didn't even know this is part of the narrative. I was all in runes. So I think a lot of us went there, and all of a sudden when we left, you're like, it's a different topic. So I kind of want to go over what was the stuff that was surprising that you heard about. What do you think that was kind of bullshit?
Isn't there an
talking
upgrade
about?
coming? Named after the city you were just in?
Wait, say it again.
Isn't there an upgrade coming named after the city you were just in?
Denver?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know about this. Am I that stupid? What
Denver?
happened?
ETH upgrade, right?
There's an the next ETH upgrade is Denver?
I don't know. An ETH
No.
upgrade's coming.
Bullish.
Bullish. Okay, I'm in.
What
Yeah,
the
next-
merge, the purge?
So I'm saying, so one thing, like the BRC20 was a good example, right? That was the first like shit coins on Bitcoin, right? There was a big pump then, and then things kind of went down, no big deal, and then we're all waiting for runes. However, 1,000 people started building right when they came out, and now that stuff is finally getting done because building on Bitcoin is hard.
Yeah, because with OmniSat, right, and that was obviously one of the producers of this event, but I started working with them in May, and it was all of us in a house together. And first of all, it is a public good, decentralized product. All of you guys can contribute, but it was just a bunch of us in a house, and we had this idea. I'm not a builder. I'm not smart enough to do any of this. But what I saw really quickly was, one, all of these smartest people that I know, running over to Bitcoin and building, but two, there is no basic infrastructure. And so all of these competing companies are building, we had multiple, everyone was calling it testnet Denver. Multiple of our sponsors are on testnet. And you kind of have competitors working together to build these things that are needed for innovation in the space, and it doesn't happen overnight. And so, yeah, I think you're going to see this a little bit of a delay, but at the same time, when you look at where Bitcoin has been and innovation since 2010 until now, it's crazy where we're at, and there are so many people that are so close, and from that point, it's going to be a whole different explosion. So we'll see what happens with BRC20s versus runes. But there is definitely a lot being built for BRC20s that I think will be utilized for both.
I was going to say, Brightfield, you were there. You're talking to not just Bitcoin maxis. You know what I mean? You talked to them for a little bit here. What was the things that was most exciting that you saw?
One of them, excuse me.
He went to eat. You can hear. You can hear. You can hear.
I'd say one of the most exciting things I saw was the Bitcoin people talking to the ETH people, the Solana people, everyone just interacting. There wasn't a lot of this chain maximalism happening. There was actually a lot of openness, and I think that was really, really encouraging.
No, totally. Well, it's funny I feel like Bitcoin and Solana people have this unlikely friendship, and I did talk to a bunch of people about it because we both program in Rust. Rust is a cult, right? I'm in the cult, and every time I'm Solana, I go, let me see your stack. Let's see what's going on. Oh, you're Bitcoin. What's going on? You're friends instantly, and then you're both underdogs in a weird way. And I think because that underdog story, it's kind of this is their conference. We're both invading the main conference, which, so I don't know. I definitely agree with that a lot. There you go. I got multiple drinks for you. You got multiple drinks. Look at that. It's Jerry, the producer here. Troy, you went there already fully ordinal pilled. He's left ETH altogether. He's abandoned his friends. He's burned his NFTs over there. Teleburn them. He sees his ETH friends. I've watched him walk by them and be like, who are you? No. Oh, I don't. Oh, do you have a puppet? You have a monk?
No,
you don't. Okay.
No, actually, to his point. Thanks, Began, for the layup. But to his point, I think 2021 and PFP started becoming a trend. A lot of people started identifying with these things that were making them money in 2021, and then and some people might be introverted and they've never identified with anything, and this has been the biggest thing, and they're like, I'm with these PFPs and I'm with these, and I think what's happening this year is that's withering away. In a way, people still have online joking fights and troll, I'm a puppet or I'm an OMB and you suck and traders trade and collectors collect, and I get all that. But when people buy a ticket to go to an event, whether it's around the world or the country, they're not going there to be a dick. They're putting their best. Most people in the herd mentality in an event is when people come here, there are no dicks that come here. You don't act like dicks when you're here. It's just very positive. So that's what I see. There's a lot of artists, there's a lot of different people, photographers, and I don't know what anybody's bags are and what they buy or NFTs, and that's what I see when I'm going to these places.
But real quick, Troy, we know that you get information. You're on stuff early. It drives me crazy.
Yeah,
you're
so
always
go ahead. Just ask me.
You got some new shit. What was the shit when someone said, hey, you got some alpha. You got to give it to us, okay?
When I got there, I brought my laptop and I sat down at the big table in the main dining room right next to Butoshi, and I was trading some things, and I forgot what they were, and they were a bunch of things, and I wanted to make sure I flipped them, and so I can have a good time. When I remember, I'll let you know. But a lot of the stuff is runes are coming out. Runestone is dropping tomorrow at 9 a.m. our time. So if you have any wallets that are Runestone is going to be fucking huge, fair launch, and that's going to be big, and I'm looking forward to that. Ordinal Sigma is dropping next week. That is Hantoshi and fucking Rabbi Gaines' project.
So good.
Yeah, that's an animated. It's the largest animated PFP collection. I don't know how I can help, but that's what that is. Other than that, There are things coming in all the time, and they're usually just great things. There are degen mints and stuff like that. There is a new. If you haven't heard of DMT token or DMT standard,
I know DMT. There's a token.
I know you do because
sorry.
like he knows a lot about ordinals more than a lot of ordinal people do because he's a great researcher, and he also produces the Ordinals Are Dead show. Plug. And he. Thanks, sorry. Get me back on track, because I had something here. So
DMT.
DMT. There is okay, so I know this person, and there is a new DMT standard that's coming out in a couple of days that is going to destroy how DMTs are minted, and DMT projects right now are just fucking printing on Bitcoin. And the great thing about it is they come with great fun little memeable art. So it's not just coins and stuff like that. And it's just super fun, man. And while we're building our projects and doing the good fight to get our own projects out there, this subsists and helps out your communities that are coming into ordinals and stuff like that. Very sorry.
Well, no.
Am I answering your questions?
No, that was close. We got new DMT, whatever. When someone says DMT,
Yeah,
new
you gotta
protocol.
Get that DMT.
Yeah.
Get on that DMT train.
Yes, I know a lot of things. I'm just like, I'm stultified right now about
Troy, the protocol is so much less interesting than DMT.
Oh, yeah.
Which protocol?
I want to give some alpha.
All right, we got some Jen. What you got?
And I'm not just saying this because they sponsored our event, but literally all of our sponsors, like a lot of them I was meeting and hearing about like their projects for the first time while setting up this event. But some of the coolest like protocols, companies, builders, and like people that really every single sponsor like was there above and beyond. So I know I like tagged them all in the list, and I'm not going to go through everyone right now, but like they're all building such cool things. And then the even cooler thing is how much collaboration came out of that house. So I think a lot of people that, you know, were putting this random sponsor chat together. Now there's so many that are like, yes, we're working together. Like this was awesome. And no one really knew what like anyone was doing. And yeah, I think I would just, all of them I would follow, keep an eye on. And it's not all just layer 1 Bitcoin. There's a little bit of everything.
Layer 2 was the hottest topic.
Yeah.
I heard it 1 trillion times.
Yeah.
Like that was, I don't care about layer 2s at all before this. Still don't, except for they've told me so many things. But yeah, I will say like a bunch of like the layer 2 stuff or programmable BRC20s or everything they're building
like
on top.
Botanics is EVM, what's the word? It's like not compatible. It's like adjacent or something.
Adjacent?
No, it's not that, but it like literally is like, I
Sidechain?
don't know. It's good for
sidechain.
ETH. No. On
was.
Bitcoin, but it's like EVM. I'll look up the exact word. I'm so sorry. They're fucking awesome. All
Equivalent. There we go.
equivalent,
Maybe.
yes.
But no, I'm saying that so one thing I always notice is because we're watching the space a bunch. Like we've seen a bunch of these patterns happen in ETH before, and every time I talk to my ordinal friends who are just printing money, especially the ones that weren't involved in the scene before, they're talking about it's a brand new thing, and it's like we had that before. It's another new thing.
I know,
we had that before.
We have to just do it.
But it's okay. One thing I heard there was a lot of people saying, I'm building technology right now that will enable more of those metas to be repeated. And so it's like, we are like once, like there's going to be 1,000 metas that we were all involved in back in the day that are going to be so hot on Bitcoin. So if you already did the ETH model, it's just got to not be an old boomer who's like, we already did this and it failed. It's going to work again.
Yeah.
Like the
Well,
Zoomers
do it again on
Get
Bitcoin.
It's just
out-
happening
get
faster,
out
though.
before it fails on Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But also, I think a lot of these people, right? Like LFG, one of the people I know from Discord, and like they have a .eth, and then I got connected with someone else from their company. I'm like, are you the same LFG as this person? Like, we were talking last night, and they're like, .eth? No. And then like they realized it was, right? I was like, oh, sorry, I did not see it was an ETH person. But
Don't say that here.
They're awesome. They're brilliant, and what they're building is super cool. And really like, yeah, a lot of people have been around for a long time, right? And one of the biggest like pieces of feedback that we got, which makes me so happy, is like this reminds me of like old Bitcoin days when Bitcoin events were like good, or like, and I think a lot of these people have been around for so long and they've built on other chains because that's where building was happening. But like Bitcoin is the ultimate for them, right? And I think a lot of us feel that way, where it's like we want to be intentional. There's only so much room, there's only so much space. Like I've definitely taken my time with things because I'm like, it has to be just right. And I think that energy was reflected. But yeah, seriously, like every single one of our sponsors was so amazing. And I'm like, I need to go down the rabbit hole. Like Ordinal Miners, like they did a brunch and he was like, let's call it hash browns and hash rates. First of all, I tried to send that out on Partyful, and it was like, this is against federal law. I was like, I just got censored saying the word hash brown, okay? But
You
we
are
were
in
trying
Denver.
to set it up to literally cook the hash browns with Bitcoin miners coming soon. But like, that's so fucking cool, right? Like, everyone is just awesome and knows what they're doing and good people. So I would say follow all of them, Alpha.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I did a space today with like ETH people. You know, asked it was scheduled, and it was just
Trader?
great. No, it was just great. You know, a lot of people, you know, like spilled the NFT at this cool girl. She was just like, I got burned one time. I minted something, and she just got emotional about it and just never returned. And you know, that's happened to probably most of us here. And then you don't return to that thing. And I think you have to examine and identify that isolate that moment. And if you're like gonna mess around on a new chain, especially ordinals, is that, you know, like people are very open. It's more gateway there than gatekeepy. And people are ready to help. There's, you know, Cypherpunk's lab is a not-for-profit. They don't just take anybody, but they will help your project literally if it is important with intent and it needs some technical boundaries that it needs to sort of surpass and meet. They will help you. Like, it's really a fucking cool place to be. And I say OmniSat, this is Jen's project that she's part with some of my other friends. I've used that, and it's pretty fucking cool how you can swap BRCs on there really
Which
cleanly.
ones we swap?
We are testnet only.
I actually swapped with Bunsey. We had a call. He was videotaping it because he was trying to do some content for it. This is a couple months ago, so he can roll out.
Just what's the ticker?
And we just swapped three. We swapped 3 tokens.
BTC.
We swapped OXBT, which was BitGod's token, which he gave over to the community, and then Domo's token. I think it was Domo, and then another one. I forget what it was.
So I have a full tutorial thread on this, and I want to be really clear that none of these are real tokens. They are all testnet versions of BRC20s. And so the data that they pull in is the same as like on mainnet, but because you can only get a ticker once, if people had started on testnet, it wouldn't be possible. So it's not an exact, but I do have a full list. We do have some cool new features we're rolling out right before mainnet. So get involved on testnet.
Yeah, and I would also say the alpha with like having like a person that developed a canvas and with, you know, the core team like Raf to develop like you know, ordinal theory that we can play on. He's also the same guy that will, you know, post a picture of an animated guy sucking its own cock, like, and wear a Viking
That's
costume.
what you want from a dev.
I'm just saying, like that's like funny to me.
So much
and
money.
That's not somebody who's just trying to be too serious. Yeah. And it's just like, that's alpha to me. That's like, I want to hang out there. Like, I don't need to hang out with him, but I just like, the guy's already funny. It's ironic. Life is full of irony, and my friends are there, and who doesn't want to play and gamble with their friends and build fun projects and give alpha to people?
You know what I haven't heard once since like Ordinal's back a year ago are long-term Bitcoin people looking at the ETH ecosystem during the last bull and saying that they're learning from it. Do you think, I mean, like, to me, it all just feels like 2021 again.
Yeah, 100%.
On a different chain. Like, we can talk about all the differences. There are plenty, but the reality is it's the fucking same thing. It's going to be the same and slightly different, right? And we're seeing that. But, like, I never hear long-term Bitcoin maxis talk about, like, you know what, I really studied the ETH, like all the ETH NFTs and all the things that were happening.
They don't have to.
Well, but why don't they have to? They should.
No, I'm against it. No.
It would give you some alpha for sure.
When maybe get some alpha. The problem is and I see this so many times with all my friends. You look at the old days, you go, I know how this ends. I'm not even gonna get involved.
And it's different.
You need that young, like, I don't care. It's a revolution. It's different.
Also, the amount of things
just get
I've
out.
faded because I know how it ends. No,
Exactly.
Know where to get out, but get in.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like
the
it's much better the second time.
But I'm saying the unscarred are making the most money.
Sometimes.
A bunch of people are traumatized. Actually, I think I had on one of these like
the bottom of
PTSD.
everything on ordinals.
That's a great quote.
Look at everyone has PTSD and wondering how long we pump. I thought it was like a good little exactly. A lot of people.
that's a good take.
The new ones are like, we're going up forever, and so I'm gambling all the money I'm making, and it's like another win, and we're like, I'm being conservative over here. I know how it ends and making $0 fucking dollars, right? So I think you need that young attitude. I'm looking at people and saying, I'm the old boomer, and I keep saying, we already did this, and they go, great. How much money did you make on it? None. Like, I'm making money now.
fully start hitting me up, like that's when I know, okay, this is top. When they're like, okay, we're ready now. They're still not there. They're still making fun of me for the most part. They're like, oh, we already threw a fun party. We'll come to a crypto party now. But like, they still don't want to buy crypto. And we passed all-time highs this week, right? Like that to me is actually pretty good. Like I feel like my family is still like, what the fuck are you doing? Like it's all fake, right? When they start being like, oh, okay, what? You're buying dinner tonight. That's
also
when.
Give it 18 months.
We also hit all-time highs, and the ordinal projects kept going up. What happened to the ETH projects? More gutting. Pudgy's down. Apes under fucking 20.
Yeah, but doesn't Bitcoin always lead?
No. But before it was Bitcoin lead. There weren't
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there wasn't art on there though. Now
Bitcoin
it's like
leads.
they both
like.
lead.
Do people really think that ETH
point is-
NFTs are dead? Talk to me in 6 months, and it's going it's going to
but
follow
I'm
the
not buying-
pattern.
but I'm not buying yet. I sold a bunch of shit, and I'm like,
I'm not saying to
gonna
buy
this
anything.
back-
I'm just saying
gonna
I think
buy
it's
this
gonna
back
follow it.
later. But I do think, right? We'll see though, and
it's
I wonder how, like, honestly, the ETFs are going to affect like this cycle. because-
BlackRock bought 10,200 Bitcoin 2 days ago on the dip.
Right.
The dip they created. I'll tell you what. All right, I'll tell you what. Oh, come on.
Look,
now, I know.
I sold the top and bought the dip just to feel something.
There we go.
No, stop.
You're live.
It's an
You're live.
honor. It's an honor to sell at 69. Okay, it is literally it's
I felt
on
like
chain.
I had to. I'm like so delirious post or Denver. I was like, I gotta just have this once.
I sent that scammer money just to feel something. I knew I was doing
Yeah,
it on
exactly. I
purpose.
mean, that's how it is here.
Yeah.
I got you.
Ziad, you got something? Nope, you're good. Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. For me, if I'm coming back here, I'm actually looking at what am I going to do, my most investigations too. I think that there's a lot of people who were talking the technical stuff on top of Bitcoin. I got to be honest, I'm going to look at some of it, but I'm definitely following like degen culture more so, meaning that
Puppets.
whatever puppets are doing. But I'm saying, there's a new DMT protocol. I am looking at that more than someone saying this is going to scale up Bitcoin. Here's how. Yes, I am. That's why
You're going to know it very fast.
So
yeah, you got to follow the narrative.
So Began,
follow the fun.
because you actually got to talk to everyone.
Oh, I talked to all the nerds.
You
Yeah.
did.
What is your one takeaway?
Okay, so the best thing I actually heard, and we're going to clip this here, is I got to talk to Raf. Raf is the #2 ordinal dev, right? If you go to the actual commits, who is writing the code, it's Raf. He's also in person. Very smart, awesome nerd, writing Rust, split keyboard, cool as fuck, right? We're talking about this rune stuff. Where's it going to go?
It's cool.
No, I asked him what keyword. He goes, oh, split, it's so much better. Blah. He started giving the, I'm like, I know the pitch,
He's
bro.
the
That's me.
nicest.
That's me. We're the same.
I'm so glad you met him. I'm so glad you met him.
So super cool. But then we're talking about runes, and we're talking about like, okay, well, what about this versus that? How do you think about it? And he said this, and I was like, oh, hot damn, that's it. He's like, runes, like in ordinals, what we're doing, we're an entertainment company. We're making entertainment. And I thought that was the most beautiful, refreshing thing to hear from the smartest people there, right? Ordinal theory, this whole crazy ordinal thing was made by Casey. If you guys have read the ordinal theory white paper, it's fucking gorgeous. Like literally. Before this tip popped off, I was like, it's beautiful. They keep thinking about better ideas on top. They said, okay, BRC20s, what if shitcoins were more elegant? It's like, damn, that's good. And like, they made a better name for it. The tech is more elegant behind it. Very interesting. From there, they say, well, how are you going to interact with these? How do you treat these? Are they saying, we're going to change the world? They're like, no, we're going to make some fun shit. That is the most bullish, insane thing I've ever heard.
It's art for it's joy for joy's sake.
Exactly. And they
fucking punk rock.
They are fun. Exactly. They are fun technical people making fun.
And they don't pretend to be anything they're not, right?
Yeah.
Like in Miami, I like went up and like grilled Casey, and he was like, I honestly don't have an answer. And like Raph was like, there is no answer. And I was like, that's cool. Like I can live with that. You're not trying to sell something that like does not exist.
Yeah, I mean, I said it like earlier, going back to the images in the Viking hat that he wears during the Hell Money podcast. Like, I want to follow that guy, and we do. And he's just like, the people there are just pure. And the literal, you said follow degens. I mean, Puppets literally caused Leap and Thread Guy to do the space separately that had to revolve around that thing. It wasn't like important projects, and even OMB, which is like a movement, which is severely like, it's like a fucking pinnacle project. But it's just very interesting that you have these important kind of thoughtful things, and then you have just these fun things that balance it. And I think Raph and people like Casey and the people that are under them, they get that. It's just pure, simple. He even called them artisanal shitcoins before he called them runes.
That's great.
Which is a fucking...
I love that. Oh,
he knows it. He calls it a gambling entertainment. He calls Bitcoin that. and which is.
But even so, like
Yeah,
the culture that is building, and that's what I really do love. Like, well, I mean, whatever. I'm very passionate about OMB. I've got 0. I'm never going to be able to afford any. Oh my God. So I'm very.
Not with that
depressed.
should have one.
I'm
Not
very.
should have
Oh,
one.
trust me. My
We should
depression
all
is.
have
I'm
one.
hitting levels of depression you don't even understand. I'm drawing my own OMBs and like coloring the eyes in. I've got purple eyes right now. It's sad, but. I will say, when you look at all the projects that are popular or like the art behind them, there is an aesthetic that is Bitcoin only. That has nothing to do with ETH. It is different.
Oh,
a bunch of
it's so
ETH
political
MFers come
too.
over.
Those orange eyes are brilliant.
The orange eye,
Like,
exactly.
They're fucking brilliant.
But it's like they are making, there is an aesthetic, there's a world that is their world that they don't want to do the repeat of the ETH stuff, at least aesthetically. And you can see that they're rejecting people coming over. Guess what? No one cares what the early Bitcoin apes minted on. Back in the day, that was the meta. There's a new chain, put some apes on there. We're rich, right?
I mean,
no one gives a fuck about them,
I
right?
love
And
the
they're
copy
early.
pasta's dead.
To be fair, you know, Bitcoin punks are definitely a thing, and that's
Yeah, well, that's because punks are different.
Yeah, but we do know what one of the first runes is. We've had that been told.
Forgotten runes?
No,
Got it.
one of the first 10 runes that in the protocol.
I didn't forget.
We
about
had
that.
it first.
I
We didn't
forget
forget.
about
We didn't
that.
forget.
Everyone wants to hear it.
Wait, which one?
Kara, go.
They're coming
What
out
is
of
it?
the shadows.
I'm excited.
The U.S. dollar.
That's the
It
first.
has an unlimited supply, and you can mint it forever. That's all.
Wait, go deeper. What are you talking about here? Let's hear.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
We got
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage in the front
Everyone
row
should
explaining
go to
this
the
to us.
or-
Like, wait,
Yeah.
the U.S. dollar is the first rune.
US
I will go
dollar is
through
the
every
first
dollar bill and
rune.
find the secrets.
The
Like,
order
Stop
board,
paying on the dollars,
the
Claire
order board
Salva.
Ordinals Coding Club is the biggest alpha.
That actually
like
is.
True.
literally the biggest alpha.
Yeah, I will say, if you guys
Yeah,
don't know, the Ordinal devs actually code live. I actually asked, I was like, Raph, well, first of all, he told me he started Rust for Ordinals, which is psycho. It's the world's hardest language. And I'm like, you are working on like the biggest thing worth the most money. It's your first time. And he's like, Casey's a great teacher. And we do the teaching live. And it's like, you can watch a guy learn how to code a language that is changing the world. And you can just sit in on the lessons.
Yeah,
It's wild.
for free. If you want to go to the order cord, and also like what you do is you go to the space that he starts. He doesn't talk there.
got
He
it.
just
We're
wants
doing
to
it
see
perfect,
the
actually.
output there, and then you go into the order cord and you just watch them, and it's a class, and they like that. I think they like content too, and I think it's important that they share that.
All right, so I think the wrap up is no matter what, we took over ORD Denver. That was one event, very successful.
Oh, did
very
we?
Good job, guys.
Yeah, good
It
job,
was
Jen.
really
Everyone give her a
good.
round of applause real fast. All
It
right,
was
please,
really
please do,
cool
please
to
do. Thank
see
you.
the LA crew sort
guess-
of be at the center of the
But
conversation.
now
They
we've
did
done
great.
something. We took the show on the road. I carried 5 microphones in my bag and a camera and all this random ass shit.
You know
So-
that I didn't make it back from our house, so I had to have someone break into the house that I was staying at, and I was like, my camera is wrapped in a red fur coat under.
Sometimes you got to break into your own house for things, okay? The key is, though, we figured out we can take it on the road. There's more stuff coming here,
yeah.
okay? There's NFT NYC. People are going to be here for, what is it called? What do we call it in LA?
Outer Edge LA.
Is that even
Outer
a thing?
Edge.
Is that a
NFT
thing?
LA.
Is that a
I thought the
thing?
name changed.
All right.
There's
We're
NFT
in
listed.
LA. There's
Wait.
no thing in LA. Like, what the fuck?
We're doing it.
Take care of it.
Look, there's going to be a lot of ORD Denver follow-ups
Yes.
in the next few days, few weeks. Stay tuned.
For Los Angeles?
Or LA.
I'm not saying anything from
So-
here.
so can I-
She
but
said
I'm-
it. She
I'm-
said it.
Can I
I
say
gotta
something
go.
about Outer Edge?
It's 1 minute past. I said I was
Um,
leaving.
We're gonna close out here in a second, but real quick shout out, because if you guys are looking at this picture here, I just want to give this man some recognition.
Vegan.
This
Yeah,
this
Sat there
basement
for a
that
long
you
time.
see here, the green screen, right? This was the rave room every night, but every morning of the ORD Mansion, Beeg and I would set up for this makeshift IRL Alpha, and I'm not kidding you. We did not sleep the entire 3 days. There was 0 hours of sleep between Jen, myself, Bit God, all of us, Troy. None of us slept, right? So we would get up, right when we're done partying around 7 a.m. and set up this little makeshift. Makeshift.
They went from the My Lady
learning
rave.
at 7 a.m.
And
They
look at
went
this.
from the My Lady rave to
Yeah.
loadout.
Yeah.
And I love them for that forever.
But I just want to share something how crazy this is, because I had it a little easier. I was just making sure people showed up for the panel and made sure people were confirmed and filled empty spots. But being straight up, 11:30 was our first session that day. This dude drank 3 Red Bulls, had 0 things to eat, did not leave that seat until after 5 p.m., so 6 p.m., 11:30 to 6 p.m., without going to the bathroom, without eating a single piece of food, on 3 Red Bulls. And he talked to the highest level ordinal builders in the world, and they were all like beyond blown away by this man's intelligence and ability to host. And we are so blessed and grateful to have you here at IRL Alpha, man. Let's give him a huge round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo! I did it.
I want to say one thing. We would have let you
Savage.
pee. That was your own choice.
I didn't know. I thought I couldn't pee, and it was making me full of energy. I was like, okay, I've got more energy this way.
But I
Said I
really
can't.
do want to give one more shout out to the
Vegan had a
IRL LA crew because I would not have been able to do it without you guys. And yeah. it was
Yeah.
really special.
So the real key is we're doing more of these. We're going on the road for more stuff. Okay. New York. I don't care where.
Ordinal
Next
Asia,
Paris,
Philly, let's
wherever
go
we're
Philly.
going.
Asia.
We're doing something in Philly. We're doing something in
come on,
Boston
no one
here.
wants to go to Philly.
There's a lot more.
So when it's not taping, I'm going to tell you where someone wants us to go, and I think we should consider it. But what I do want to say about Outer Edge LA, and Jen, maybe we will talk after this. It's up to you because I know you're a fucking
leaving immediately after
She's
this.
running
But
out.
you have my number.
No, not after.
We're 3 minutes over.
I'm saying like in the next couple weeks. So we have a 600 person filling like gallery downtown in Los Angeles, and I've been talking about Outer Edge LA. I don't really care about Outer Edge LA in general. I just wanted to do a big ordinal meetup, and I don't know if I can follow in Jen's footsteps, but I know that Overlord is going to be helping and coming here. And I'm not voicing it, but for people that don't travel and can't buy ticket prices to go travel around the world and country, it's going to be great, and that's where the Alpha is and stuff like that. And obviously, it's in downtown LA, and we'll talk about it as soon as I get more details and stuff like that.
Beautiful. So last thing, if you guys don't know, we're going to end this portion of the panel right here. We'll hang on here for a little bit. We have an after party. We'll actually talk Alpha. Troy will actually tell us the fucking tickers. He's not going to keep them inside anymore, okay? We'll share what really happened. There's a bar right over there on Abbot Kinney. It's a 15-minute walk away. It's called Vibes Co. They got drinks. They got food. We'll be hanging out there. We'll be hanging out here for a bit, too. We'll be back next week. We got more panelists. I know we've already got one lineup. We got Jen, who is the blast expert, who told us she's actually going to school us on what the fuck is happening over there.
Yes.
Because it's complicated, and I need an expert. We'll have more announcements then. Thank you, everyone. This is the show. Bye. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
I'm going to go to the bathroom now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which side of the screen do I have to switch to? LG, MacBook Pro, entertainment room. That's IRL Alpha's going on.
Is the camera dirty? It looks all fuzzy.
And then this controller.
Does not turn on. We'll hold this down.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, right, set up. There you go. This and this. Ready?
Can you hear me, Jerry? Yeah. Let's do it. We're supposed to look this way. Welcome to the IRL Alpha Post Show, where we talk to all these DJs about what just conspired here at the IRL stage. Let's go to our first victim. Where we go?
Yeah, so I mean, we go to like that.
Where are you hiking? Oh, she just here, my brother. She dip out. I think she dipped out. Let me tap in with Colin again. Colin, man, back on the panel, bro. How was it?
Yo, it was great. It was great. Yeah, you know, one thing I wanted to emphasize is that, you know,
let's stand in front of all this money. It's very
let's stand in front of all
appropriate
this
for the
money.
bull.
For the bull.
Let's go.
Yeah, you know, one of the most amazing things about East Denver is that you just see the building element, right? You know, a lot of the times that's held back. You don't get to see how many people are actually working on different projects. And when you walked into East Denver, there was a whole stadium with, you dropped down and there was just the hackathon just happening. And you just remembered like, wow, there's literally thousands of devs building 24/7, making this crypto thing run. And we kind of take that for granted. I mean, you see it in your face at an event like East Denver. It's undeniable that we're in a bull market, and it just makes you stoked. You know, you're just like, oh wow, look at all this action happening.
Dude, what cool projects did you see getting built over there? Was there anything that like you remember or anything that like stands out?
I mean, a lot of people were in Ease. A lot of people were stoked on the EigenLayer stuff. For me, I liked a lot of these AI-enabled trading platforms or token security platforms. So people getting way more into the ease of making your transactions secure. I think that was really bullish because right now like that's one of the big critiques, right, is all the scams, and we got of course a lot of newbies coming into the space. So the more that you can use AI to keep people safe, that's a bullish signal for me.
Yeah, it's definitely, we got to eliminate like the barrier to entry and like the friction to come into the space. Like wallet and memorizing the C phrase or writing it down, self-sovereignty is kind of difficult. So were there any products over at East Denver that would make it onboarding easier for normies?
Man, there's so many projects. There's literally so many easy ways to just make the user experience better, right? I mean, I saw Coinbase was there with doing their new stuff. Solana was there. They had, just a lot of outreach. I mean, like, there's too many projects to name, honestly. Really what was interesting is that there are so many people that are willing to take that next step too. So like the projects are getting closer to where people are at, but you have people going down the rabbit hole further now. And so they're willing to, it's kind of like, these two waves meeting each other, and they're getting closer and closer to each other. People want to learn more. At the same time, people are willing to make things more user friendly. So when we meet in the middle during this bull, I think we're going to see some magic happen.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Colin, man, appreciate the time, bro.
Yeah,
the
for
insight.
sure, man.
Hell yeah, man. See you at VibesCo, man.
Yeah, see you at VibesCo.
Oh, man. Let me tap in with my homie right here. Cali Slugs, bro. How's it going,
Good,
G?
bro. How you doing?
Good,
Last
man.
time you caught me with a pizza in my mouth. I remember that.
You remember that? Can catch you off guard, man.
Yeah. I'm ready now.
You ready? Dude,
Yeah, I'm ready.
tell us what you do, man. Like, you work in the
What do I
Axie,
do?
well, you got Axie Infinity
Look,
space,
I'm a
right?
gamer.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer first.
Well, tell us about gaming, man, and where do you see the future of gaming going in this
Gaming's
space?
fundamental. We can't get over this. It's fundamental in every aspect in life. Education, right? So a big example is Robinhood. I always want to compare gaming and Robinhood. Dude, they changed that shit, right? So I mean, all the stuff we're talking about here, it all starts with gaming, gambling, right? All this stuff's gambling, bro. You gaming, so gaming has a big future in crypto, whether it be any chain, it doesn't matter. And the news today with Dota and Portal, that's big news to me. I was shaking in my seat. I come from a Ronin network, so it's a network built for gamers. But dude, that was a great partnership. That caught me off guard. So
Well, can you go into more of the Dota Portal partnership for those that aren't too familiar with Web3 gaming and why it's such a big deal?
Okay, why is it? Because this is a surprise to everyone. We all just found out about 3 hours ago. So why is it important? is because Portal is Web3 and Dota is Web2. I just want to put it as simple as that. You're gonna have these adopters, gamers that are gonna adopt crypto seamlessly without even knowing that they're doing it, right? So I think that's a big game changer. And Ronin, I love Ronin, but damn, that's something hard to compete with. So
bullish on Portal Coin, man.
Oh man. And I play a couple games. Shout out to Cypher. You know, they gave me a whitelist opportunity. Free beta test. So I got that on my iPhone. So if you guys want to play Cypher as well, that's on a Portal Coin. But yeah, man, anything gaming, I'm all for it. You know, I work with everyone, so I just want the space to win. Whether Portal or Ronin, but Ronin all day. You know.
Ooh, I appreciate that, man. Hell yeah, bro. Catch you at VibesCo, man.
Yeah.
You on the way? See you guys over there. Let's see, who do we got next, man? Let's go. Oh my God. Perfect timing. What's up, Chris? Man, if you don't know Chris Arbon and Wiperspace, come on, let's get both these artists in here. We're going to get a 2-for-1 right now, man, with the artist space right now, man. What's mad? Last time you were here, you told me about something you were working on, man. Going into like the fashion side.
Actually, yeah, I'm working on my own streetwear line. And actually, I'm wearing these are my symbols. This is like my hat. This is actually one of my shirts with my artwork on it. And I'm gonna be making everything, hoodies and prints. So what I'm doing right now is in coordination with my next project when it comes out, I'm gonna have the ability to sort of token gate so that you can buy or get discounts on everything that's in my shop. So I'm sort of coordinating that and getting it all set up right now. So I worked I was just telling him, I've been out of the loop, and it sounded like so much fun listening to everything tonight, man. Like I missed out in Denver, but I built a whole shop and I'm almost ready to launch. So.
Are you integrating any Web3 tech or NFC chips into it?
Absolutely. I haven't got that far yet, but absolutely got all the Web3 tech as far as coordinating that with the contracts and my merch. So actually, the whole thing will be Web3 enabled too. So yeah, and it's so I had another company before I got into all of this that was actually e-commerce that we did quite well with. So I know my way around that. And once I sort of went down the road of maybe I should try to create T-shirts, and found out that it's actually changed a lot in the last few years. So can actually really do this stuff really affordably and with a whole new business model. So I put this together, and for setting up the shop, doing photos, setting all that stuff up. I already know how to do all of that. So it was like, oh, this comes in handy. So I was able to get it up.
Cool. I love.
No, I do like the hat, man. Mike, check out the hat and everything.
Look at that. They show the T-shirt as well. That's also his style.
I do love the way it looks, man.
What's written there?
When the riff is this heavy. So it's a guy with a guitar. It's one of my artworks, and the guitar is sort of melting into the ground. He's like this.
Cool, I love it.
That's a
cool.
piece. It's actually a full physical piece artwork. So I just turned it into this for the T-shirt. But I actually like this style too, really simple and sort of vectorized. So that's the vectorized version of the artwork.
So what is the address of the website?
I love how Wiperspace is coming to help you.
On what? Something.xyz.
On what?
Oh, so you don't have the domain?
Oh, I already have it. It's all set up. It's just right now. It's password protected. If you go to onsomething.xyz, you will see a photo of 3 people wearing some of the merch, but that's it. But it's going to be live in probably a couple of weeks. I'm just working on the last details. So.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Man, Chris, dude, appreciate it.
Always good to see you.
Always good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping out, man. Catch up with you guys in a minute. See you guys at VibesCo. See who else do we have over. Let's get Rosenbaum, man.
Real quick, what you guys really need to do is we got a fire art show happening at Super Chief on March 16th here in Los Angeles with none other than IRL Alpha previous guest and rock star Terrell
Dom.
Yep. So go ahead and let's get a little shout there. I'm definitely going to join you in a second.
That was a great segue, man.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about Super Chief and what's coming up with you guys.
The show is called Pariahs. It's coming March 16th.
and it's really just a culmination of the whole Evil in Color universe, and just really bringing it all together in a room for the first time ever, and bringing a little bit of it to life.
Good, looking forward to this. And how does the collaboration between IRL get involved?
Well, shoot, I've just been a huge fan of Terrell since seeing his work early on. There's a lot of rumblings of his work in Grayler's DAO. Before he had a really big notable name, we like to talk the alpha art in there. And Simon 0x Simon Says is the first time I've ever heard of his name. And of course, he posted in there and a bunch of people bought his artwork. But then as the coming months unfolded, you start seeing him hanging out at the Proof Gallery. Then you see all of a sudden BitGod and him collaborated on the Quadrillion drop, and he was one of the first ETH artists to even drop on Ordinals. And he actually is so fire, he got 2 pieces in that drop. So I've been a big fan ever since kind of catching wind of his work. And, last time we bumped into each other, found out he moved to LA. So, for me, just always trying to track the most prominent, important people in our space to this area, man. It was a long time coming, man. We were begging and pleading for him to come down. He made it a few weeks ago, which was really awesome. And excited to have him back next week. So next IRL Alpha, this upcoming Thursday, we'll have Terrell back on the panel with Mr. Ed from Super Chief and Jen, DeFi Jen. And it's going to be a fire show, but we'll definitely be promoting and talking a little bit more about his drop coming out on the 16th here in LA. Super Chief, man. Super fired up for it. Hell yeah, man. Glad you're here, brother. It was a nice surprise. Of course.
Man. Always awesome dropping by, bro. Dropping the heat, man. Now, dude, I love your minimalist style, man. And last time we had a little bit of talk, dude. Can you tell us again, how did you find your aesthetic for your unique art style?
I think before I really found it, a lot of what I was doing didn't necessarily make a lot of sense together. Like if you just would have saw them all, stacked up with each other, you would just be like, oh, this looks like work from 10 different artists or something. But once I really started to hone in and kind of find my own voice in it, it made it a lot easier to still be able to venture out and do different things and have different themes in my art and different even styles, but it can all still make sense together in the same universe that I'm kind of building. And it's just been really fun to tell stories that way and kind of just build the world out.
Yeah, because I definitely see world building in it, with the certain reoccurring characters that appear in your work and everything, which I do love about that, man. And it's so with the Super Chief, is it going to be a new drop, new artwork coming out, or a collection mix of your older works?
Yeah, it's mostly a lot of the works that people already know me for, but there will be new work in there and new twists on old work as well, without saying too much. But there will be some new pieces as well too. But we're gonna have a lot of fun. Without saying too much, it's gonna be a fun time.
Cool, man. Can you give us the date one more time when that goes on?
March 16th, Pariahs, Terrell Jones, Super Chief.
Tap in, check out Super Chief, March 16th. Yo, Terrell, man, always a pleasure.
You as well.
Man, see you at VibesCo? We'll see.
No problem.
That is all the time we have for the IRL Alpha Post Show. Thank you for joining us. We couldn't do this show without you, chat. Thank you for tuning in. It's been Lo Swayze. Catch you at VibesCo at the after party. Peace out.